Okay, everybody, welcome here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show. This is a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're here on my Wednesday night favorites to discuss and rank the songs of an album I've come to love quite a bit. And no, it's not a Rush album, even though I got my Rush shirt on and my hat. But it is definitely an album that has long been one of my favorite metal albums. Judas Priest's Screaming for Vengeance. I know a lot of people like the earlier catalog quite a bit. I'm only recently discovering that, and to be honest with you, I like that quite a bit too. There's some really solid stuff in that early catalog part of the Judas Priest stuff. Most of this I learned from doing the metal show, which I did last Thursday, if you're interested in watching that. But because I did that, this fired me up to do this. So I decided I didn't want to do any more 25 videos for a bit. I've done 3 or 4 of them in a row, give myself a little bit of a break and do something at a top 10. So this is not really a top 10, this is a ranking of the songs on Judas Priest's Screaming for Vengeance. This was actually kind of tough because I like almost everything on this album. A couple of the bottom tracks are a little bit weaker, but they're not bad. There isn't anything on here I don't like, so I'm going to do them from my least favorite to my most favorite. But to be honest, it's basically going to be from good to great to even better. That's the way it's going to be. So I got this album when it first came out in vinyl. I played it until it ended up in my sister's collection, and I've since bought it here in CD, and I like it. I play it a lot. It's one of my go-to heavy metal albums, and for Judas Priest, it's probably easily my favorite. Although that's changing because there's a lot of really good Priest stuff that I never really got into that I'm starting to get into now. Okay, so starting off, so there's 10 tracks on this album. I've ranked them. I wrote them down here on the board. I ranked them according to the way I like them. So there's basically 6 songs on side A, and then there were 4 songs on side B, for those of you who collect vinyl and know this. So I'm going to rank them according, and then the side A of this album is amongst my favorite side A's on any album. So this is quite the pleasure to do this. I've been wanting to do this for a while. So without further ado, here we go. So coming in number 10 is the song Fever. It's not a bad song. I like it. It's not as memorable. It's not as catchy as some of the other tracks on this album, but it's by no means a bad song at all. The fact that I think it's last, or is it the last song on the album? No, it's not. It's close to the last song on the album. Probably the reason why it didn't get as much play as some of the others, but overall, I still think it's passable. It's a good song. It's not a great song, but it's a good one. The next one up, number 9, is The Hellion. And the only reason The Hellion comes in at number 9 and instead of a little higher is because it's basically just an intro. For me, it's just an intro into Electric Eye. A good intro, but it's just an intro, so it can't really rank too high on the list. So coming in at number 8 will surprise some people, but I think what hurts it is it gets way too much airplay, way too much radio play, and just basically burned out. It was never my favorite song on the album, but I always liked it quite a bit. But it's over the years it's just fallen short because it's just burned out basically. So we're talking about You've Got Another Thing Coming. I think it's overkilled. It's way too much, and not one of the best tracks on the album anyway, so really suffers from that. The next song up is Take These Chains, so it jumps up quite a bit here. Take These Chains, another really, really great songs. Some of that really kind of slow grinding stuff, then it jumps like it's like just started its engine. I love that part about this song. So that's my number 7. Number 6 is The Electric Eye. I think this song probably ranked higher earlier on. It was probably my favorite track initially, or one of my 2 favorite tracks initially, but it lost some ground because it gets a little bit Gets a lot of airplay, not as much as You Got Another Thing Coming, but still does get quite a bit of airplay. Not a bad tune though, I like it. Now the top 5 songs here are all really good, and top 3 easily could switch around any given day of the week. These next 2, they switch with each other quite a bit because I like them both quite a bit. So we're talking about number 5 is Bloodstone. Oh, such a heavy song, such a great tune. I gotta have this on my list at the top for sure. Pain and Pleasure, they're very similar. I like them both. You give me pain, but you bring me pleasure. Oh yeah, just so Judas Priest sounding. Such a great tune. The next 3, I think I like them because they're fast-paced, heavy songs. Not speed metal like they got more like later on, but like just more fast-paced. Screaming for Vengeance, one of the great screams in rock here. This was probably my favorite track initially. Just such a heavy song. Used to play it all the time. I still love it. I still love blasting it when I'm driving along. The next 2 weren't necessarily high on the list early on, but gained a lot of momentum and are clearly up there with Screaming for Vengeance for the top spot. And so number 2 is Devil's Child. This is just such a rockin' tune, man. It's so heavy, and the riffing is fantastic on here. And then of course my number 1 by process of elimination is Riding on the Wind. One of my favorite songs to sing. I just love the vocal range on this. I love the guitar riffing. The whole song crunches along. I think to me it's the best song on the album, and I just love it. I know some people, you want to rank these differently. That's up to you. This is just the way I hear them. I hear them a little different now than I did when I was younger, but a lot of the deeper cuts have really come forward on this album over time. And that's what you want in an album. You want those deeper cuts, So this to me is an absolute masterpiece, and just such a good album. So there you have it, ranking the songs on the album Screaming for Vengeance by Judas Priest. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please put your rankings down below. What do you think of the album yourself? Please like and subscribe. It's much appreciated. And we'll be back next Wednesday with another favorites. I hope to see you there. Take care and have a good night. Bye.